Chosen one, listen carefully. Heaven has paused every sound just to reach you in this moment. The ticking clock of eternity whispers through your spirit, 11:59 p.m. The world believes there's still time, but the Spirit says otherwise. The door of mercy stands half open, light spilling from it like liquid gold. You can feel it, can't you? The pull, the urgency, that quiet but unshakable knowing that something greater is calling your name. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to walk with the crowd. You've always felt the difference, the weight of being watched by heaven, the tension of being misunderstood by earth. Every tear, every lonely night, every rejection was not random. It was training. You've been refined in secret for a divine reason. Listen, heaven is sending a final alert before the midnight hour. You sense it in the air, in the way the world trembles, without knowing why. Angels stand ready. The trumpet has not yet sounded, but the silence before it feels heavier than sound itself. The countdown has begun, and your name is being whispered in divine chambers. You may ask, why me? Because not everyone can bear the weight of the mantle you carry. You've been chosen to stand in the gap when others run. You are the one marked by light, walking through shadows that crumble under your feet. Every time darkness tried to bury you, heaven wrote your name deeper into destiny. This is not coincidence. This is divine intervention. You didn't stumble upon this message. It was sent to you. God has paused your scrolling, your rushing, your distraction. Right now, heaven is saying, wake up, chosen one. You are standing on the edge of spiritual midnight. What you decide in this season will echo into eternity. The Spirit whispers, stop running. You've delayed long enough. You've excused your calling under the weight of fear, insecurity, and doubt. But the mercy clock is ticking. When the hands reach midnight, choices harden. What was grace becomes consequence. The door that now stands open begins to close. Do not mistake God's patience for permission. Mercy is a window, not a wall. It opens for a moment, and then it moves on. The Spirit of God is saying, move now, not tomorrow, not when it feels easier. Now, because destiny delayed can become destiny denied. You've been sensing something shifting in your atmosphere, sleepless nights, heavy dreams, sudden moments of conviction. That's not anxiety, that's heaven tugging your spirit. The countdown is not about fear, it's about alignment. God is calling you to return, to surrender, to stand where you belong, in obedience, in holiness, in readiness. The night grows darker, yes, but the light within you grows stronger. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. Every scar is a seal of ownership, proof that you survived what others could not. God's hand has been over you, even in silence. The enemy saw the oil on your life long before you did, and that's why the attacks were so violent. Do not let regret silence your response. God's mercy is still reaching. If you can feel conviction, it means heaven has not turned away. You are still loved, still called, still chosen. But the moment demands action. You cannot stand at the threshold forever. Step forward now. Heaven is waiting for your yes. No. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, for the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it lingers, Wait, it will certainly come. The clock reads 11:59 p.m. The choice stands before you like a flame in the dark. Choose obedience. Choose purpose. Choose life. If your spirit bears witness that this word was meant for you, then let heaven see your agreement. And remember this, your obedience tonight will rewrite generations after you. What begins as a whisper of surrender in your heart becomes a tidal wave of freedom in your bloodline. Heaven moves when one chosen heart says yes. The enemy trembles when one surrendered soul refuses to bow to fear. The trumpet of calling echoes beyond your screen. It resounds through eternity. When you answer, all of heaven records it as testimony. You are not just hearing a message, you are fulfilling prophecy written long before your birth. Stand tall. Chosen one. Your moment is now. Comment 777 below your prophetic act of saying, I choose my calling. Like, share, and subscribe, so this message reaches every soul still sleeping before the cutoff. The air around you feels heavy now, doesn't it? That's not fear, it's awareness. Heaven has gone silent, the kind of silence that carries weight, purpose, and authority. Everything stills because your spirit has entered a moment that eternity has been waiting for. Heaven pauses for you. The angels lean in, waiting for your next breath, your next thought, your next move. Below chosen one. The reason heaven pauses is because divine attention is focused on obedience, not noise. The world makes noise constantly, opinions, distractions, chaos, but heaven moves only when hearts align. You've been crying out for God to move, but He's been waiting for you to still your storm and hear Him. There are seasons when heaven speaks loudly through miracles, signs, and wonders, but there are other seasons when heaven whispers. This is one of those. You've been expecting thunder, but God is moving in whispers that only the surrendered heart can recognize. What feels like stillness is actually strategy. What seems like delay is divine timing in motion. The Spirit of God is drawing you closer, peeling away every false comfort, every counterfeit source of peace, every distraction that dulls your discernment. You are being stripped of noise so you can walk in clarity. The reason your soul feels unsettled is because heaven has changed the frequency. You can no longer live in yesterday's rhythm. You may not realize it, but the silence around you is a sacred conversation. When heaven pauses, it's not because God has turned away, it's because He's rearranging the battlefield on your behalf. There are angels repositioning, enemies being exposed, doors being prepared, and though you can't see it, the atmosphere is shifting under your feet. The pause is the prelude to power. Don't despise this stillness. Don't mistake quiet for absence. Sometimes, the king silences the court before issuing a royal decree. The next chapter of your destiny will not begin with noise, it will begin with obedience. This pause is heaven holding its breath, waiting for your surrender. As you sit in this sacred moment, notice how everything unnecessary begins to fall away. The opinions of others lose their grip. The weight of yesterday loosens its chains. And what remains is you and God. That's where true transformation begins, in the stillness where heaven and earth meet inside the quiet of your soul. There's a reason this moment feels like both peace and pressure. Heaven's pauses are never neutral. They are invitations to trust deeper, to see beyond logic, to believe without evidence. The silence is stretching your faith so that when the command comes, you will move without hesitation. The chosen don't need confirmation, they move by conviction. Sometimes, the greatest miracle is not when God speaks, but when you stay faithful in the silence, when you still worship even without answers, when you keep standing even without understanding, when you keep believing even when heaven feels quiet. That's when heaven moves the most. Faith that holds still under pressure is the kind that shifts nations. You must understand this. The pause is the proof of intimacy. Heaven doesn't pause for just anyone. The pause means you matter too much to be rushed. God could have let you run blindly into disaster, but He chose to stop you instead. That stillness that frustrates you is actually divine mercy covering your next step. In this pause, you're not being punished, you're being prepared. Heaven pauses before promotion. The delay between calling and fulfillment is where the oil is pressed, where the heart is purified, where the soul learns obedience that will not crumble under weight. The chosen are not made in crowds, they are shaped in silence. You are standing in that divine stillness now. Don't rush to fill it with words or plans. Simply breathe. Heaven is not waiting for your performance, it's waiting for your presence. Be still. Let peace flood your spirit. Let revelation rise slowly, like the dawn over your understanding. The next move will come, and when it does, you'll know exactly what to do. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 46, verse 10. Be still, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. So rest in this pause. Chosen one. Heaven hasn't forgotten you, it's positioning you. The silence is not the end of the story, it's the breath before the command. When heaven pauses, it's because something greater is about to be spoken. Listen closely. The next sound you hear will change everything. You feel it now, the weight pressing on your chest, the stirring that refuses to let you rest. This is the weight of the call. It isn't ordinary pressure, it's holy gravity. Heaven is tugging at your spirit because the assignment on your life is demanding to be acknowledged. You were never designed to carry a light destiny. The oil on your life requires depth, and depth comes through weight. Below, chosen one. You've been asking God to lift the burden, but He's asking you to understand it. What you feel isn't punishment, it's purpose. The ache you carry is the echo of eternity, calling you into alignment. You are carrying nations inside your obedience. When you speak, atmospheres shift. When you move, heaven notices. But the greater the call, the heavier the cross. The world will never understand why you feel things so deeply, why silence feels sacred to you, why betrayal hits differently, why you cry when others laugh. It's because your spirit is wired to sense beyond sight. You walk in unseen dimensions where the average soul can't survive. That's why you can't quit. Even when you want to, there's divine fire sealed inside your bones. And quitting would be like trying to stop a sunrise with your hands. You've wondered, why can't I be normal? The truth is, you were never meant to be. The chosen never fit in because heaven custom-built their souls to disrupt darkness. The isolation you've endured wasn't punishment, it was separation for purification. You weren't being abandoned, you were being refined. Every season of rejection was heaven's way of detoxing you from the need for human approval. The pressure you feel right now is the refining fire. melting away fear and compromise. God doesn't place His glory on untested vessels. The call on your life is weighty because the mission attached to it is eternal. You are not merely existing, you are a carrier of divine purpose. That's why you've survived what would have destroyed others. But hear this clearly. The call will always cost something. It costs comfort. It costs acceptance. It costs familiarity. You can't walk in destiny and hold on to distraction. God is calling you to a higher level of surrender because the mantle waiting for you requires more than casual faith. It demands complete trust. The weight of glory cannot rest on shoulders still bowed under the opinions of others. The Spirit of God is saying, even now, lift your eyes. Stop seeing your struggle as punishment. See it as proof of preparation. Every closed door, every delay, every lonely night is heaven's training ground. You are being strengthened for what's coming. What feels like breaking is actually shaping. You're not being crushed, you're being carved into a vessel that can hold glory. The world applauds talent, but heaven crowns endurance. And you, chosen one, have endured. You've walked through shadows without losing your light. You've cried in silence but never lost your song. You've stumbled but refused to surrender. That's why the weight you carry is holy. It's the sign that heaven still trusts you with purpose. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 20, verse 9. His word is in my heart like a fire shut up in my bones. I am weary of holding it in. Indeed, I cannot. That is what you feel right now, the fire that cannot be contained. The more you try to silence it, the louder it roars. You cannot bury calling under convenience. You cannot numb destiny with distraction. Heaven is demanding a response, and your soul already knows the answer. You've been tested not to prove your weakness, but to reveal your strength. The weight of the call isn't meant to crush you, it's meant to crown you. When you finally say yes, everything begins to align. The heaviness will turn into clarity, and what once felt unbearable will become unshakable joy. So don't resist the call any longer. Don't ignore the fire burning in your spirit. You were created for this exact moment in history. The countdown still ticks, but you are awakening at the perfect time. Step into the weight. Let it mold you. Let it anchor you. Heaven is waiting for your agreement. Comment, I hear you. Because when you type it, you're not just writing words, you're declaring that you recognize heaven's voice in the middle of your chaos. You're saying, I'm done running. Lord, I hear you, and I'm ready. That single act of response shakes the atmosphere. This is the moment to stop questioning and start obeying. The weight of the call is not your curse, it's your crown. You were built to carry it. You are strong enough, chosen enough, and destined enough to fulfill what heaven started inside you. The line is being drawn, and whether you realize it or not, you are standing in the middle of a divine separation. The hour of hesitation has ended. The spirit realm has shifted. Heaven is distinguishing between those who are merely familiar with God and those who are fully surrendered to Him. The separation hour has begun. Beloved, chosen one. This is not a season for blending in, it's a season for standing out. The line between light and darkness is no longer blurred. You have felt it in your spirit. People you once walked with now seem distant. Things that once satisfied you now leave you empty. Conversations that once entertained you now grieve your heart. It is not that you've changed randomly, It's that you are being separated for divine use. When God begins to separate, it's never comfortable. You may feel misunderstood, even abandoned. But understand this, He's not taking people away from you to punish you. He's removing what cannot go where you're going. Separation is not rejection, it's protection. You cannot carry old alliances into new dimensions. Heaven is simplifying your surroundings so that your spirit can sharpen its focus. The truth is, not everyone can handle your next level. Some were only assigned to your previous chapter. They were blessings for a season, but not partners for destiny. God is calling you to walk lighter, freer, clearer. That means some doors must close. Even if your heart wants them to stay open, the old must fade for the holy to emerge. This separation is not about superiority, it's about sanctification. The chosen are not called to be better, but to be different. You are not meant to fit the patterns of the world, nor the expectations of those who settle. God has placed eternity in your heart, and you cannot shrink that to please those who fear growth. You have prayed for purpose, and God is answering by separation. You asked for clarity, and heaven is responding with pruning. The things that fall away in this season are not losses, they are instructions. The stripping is not meant to wound you, it's meant to reveal what's real. Every false layer must go so that the true anointing can breathe again. The Spirit is whispering to you now, choose. You cannot linger between light and compromise. The hour is late, the call is urgent, and the time of indecision is over. Heaven requires alignment, not excuses. The mercy that once gave you space to decide is now calling for you to stand firm. The gray is fading. Only truth remains. You have likely felt torn between two worlds, one calling you higher, the other pulling you back into comfort. But comfort has never produced warriors. The kingdom doesn't advance through convenience, it advances through conviction. God is raising a people who would rather walk alone in truth than be surrounded by crowds in deception. You are one of them. It was proclaimed in the first book of Kings. Chapter 18, verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him. Oh, that ancient question still echoes now. The time for wavering is over. The fence you've been standing on is breaking beneath your feet. You must choose whom you will serve, what you will believe, and how you will live. This is not a warning of fear, it's an invitation into clarity. The separation is not meant to destroy you, it's meant to define you. When God calls the chosen, He never leaves them where He found them. Abraham left his homeland. Moses left the palace. Ruth left her people. Every chosen one has walked away from something to step into something greater. The cost of obedience is always separation, but the reward is always glory. Do not mourn what God removes. When He takes something, it's only to replace it with what carries eternal weight. When He silences familiar voices, it's because He's training you to recognize His own. You are being called to hear beyond the noise, to see beyond appearances, to walk by faith when the map is blank. You may not understand everything now, but trust this: divine separation always precedes divine revelation. When God clears the room, He intends to speak. And when He speaks, destinies shift. The silence of those who left will soon be replaced by the thunder of God's voice, guiding your every step. Beloved, chosen one, let the separation happen. Don't fight the pruning. Don't cling to what heaven is cutting away. Let go with peace. Let God redefine your circle, your direction, and your priorities. You are not losing, you are being positioned. The line has been drawn in this hour, not to divide you from love, but to connect you to purpose. You are stepping across it now, not in arrogance, but in obedience. You are crossing from confusion to clarity, from compromise to conviction, from ordinary existence to divine destiny. This is the separation hour, and you have chosen your side. The sound is rising now. Faint, yet powerful. The sound of the trumpet. You may not hear it with your ears, but your spirit feels its vibration. It's not made of brass or breath. It's woven from eternity itself. The trumpet doesn't just announce, it awakens. It calls the sleeping warrior, the weary believer, the hidden servant, and you, chosen one, are among those being summoned. This trumpet doesn't sound over battlefields of flesh and blood, but over the battlefield of the soul. It's the sound that divides distraction from devotion, fear from faith, delay from destiny. You can sense it, can't you? That pull deep inside, like a note reverberating in your bones, calling you to rise higher than comfort, to walk farther than excuses. The heavens are declaring a shift. The time of waiting is over. The alignment has begun. Every generation has its trumpet moment, a divine call that demands response. For Noah, it was the sound of rain on dry ground. For Moses, it was the crackling fire on holy soil. For Esther, it was the trembling of her people's cry. And for you, it is this inner sound, heaven's trumpet echoing through your spirit, saying, "Now is the time." End of point. You have been through silence, through separation, through the shaking of your soul. Now the sound comes to summon you out of hiding. Heaven's rhythm beats in your chest, syncing your heartbeat to divine timing. The Spirit is aligning everything, your gifts, your scars, your story, into harmony with heaven's plan. The trumpet is not sounding to scare you, it's sounding to synchronize you. Listen carefully. This call isn't for the perfect, it's for the willing. It's not a melody of condemnation, but a symphony of mercy. Every note of this divine trumpet carries love. Love fierce enough to wake the sleeping and patient enough to wait for the willing. You may feel unworthy, but remember this. Heaven doesn't call the qualified, it qualifies the called. The sound of the trumpet doesn't look for perfection, it looks for surrender. It's not about what you've done wrong, it's about what you're ready to do right. Starting now, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 14, "For many are called, but few are chosen." No, that verse is not meant to frighten you, it's meant to focus you. The trumpet sound is heaven's invitation, but response is your decision. Every time you say yes to God's call, the sound grows louder in your life. Every act of obedience amplifies heaven's music through you. You become the echo of divine purpose on the earth. The trumpet doesn't sound to one person alone, it ripples outward. Every heart that answers creates another wave, another vibration that stirs others to wake. That's why your obedience matters. Your yes is not private, it's prophetic. Your courage becomes someone else's confirmation. Imagine the trumpet as light breaking over a sleeping valley. One by one, the chosen rise, stretching off the dust of doubt, standing tall in the glow of destiny. You are part of that awakening. Your story, your voice, your faith, all of it matters more than you know. And if this word stirs something deep inside you, if you feel that sound echoing in your spirit, don't let it fade away into noise. Feed it, protect it, let it grow louder by sharing it. When you like, you're agreeing with heaven's rhythm. When you share, you're extending the trumpet's call beyond your walls. When you subscribe, you're saying, I want to stay aligned with this sound. And if your heart feels moved to donate, do it, not as payment, but as partnership. Every seed you sow becomes another note in the symphony, another life reached, another voice awakened. Giving isn't about loss, it's about echo. It's how your yes travels farther than your voice ever could. Think of it like adding fuel to a beacon of light, so others wandering in darkness can see the way home. Beloved, this isn't manipulation, it's multiplication. The trumpet's sound was never meant to stay small. It grows when carried by many. Every act of support, whether through your prayers, your words, or your generosity, becomes another wave in the divine sound that heaven began. So as you stand here, feeling that vibration in your chest, understand what's happening. The trumpet is not calling you to hurry, it's calling you to harmony. The noise of the world will try to drown it out. But those who truly hear it will walk differently. They'll speak hope where others sow fear. They'll build where others break. They'll shine where others fade. You are one of them. Chosen one. You carry the sound. Every time you breathe, every time you pray, every time you believe again, the trumpet echoes through you. Heaven has sounded the call, and you have heard it. Now, let your life be the response. The countdown has begun. You can almost feel the seconds slipping through your spirit like grains of light in an hourglass. The number on heaven's clock glows brighter, closer, 11:59 p.m. It's not fear that grips you now, but awareness. You realize this moment isn't about panic, it's about purpose. Time itself is bending toward your obedience. Beloved chosen one, the divine timeline is narrowing. Heaven's mercy still flows, but it flows with precision. The countdown doesn't mean you've run out of grace, it means grace is urging you to move. Every delay, every excuse, every maybe later has become too costly. The clock is no longer patient with hesitation. The world sleeps, distracted by noise and glitter. But you feel something they don't, the pulse of eternity beneath your skin. It beats faster now, calling your spirit into alignment. You're not late, you're right on time, but the window is small, and the call is clear. The mercy minute is ticking. There's something sacred about this final minute before midnight. It's the meeting place of endings and beginnings, of mercy and judgment, of decision and destiny. It's where heaven asks one last time, will you follow me fully? You've heard this call before, but never with this intensity. This time, the sound won't fade until you respond. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. The hour has already come for you to wake up from your slumber, because our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed. Do you feel that stirring in your chest? That's your spirit waking up. It's not anxiety, it's activation. You are standing in a prophetic countdown that not everyone will notice. The chosen always sense what the world ignores. That's why you've been restless lately, because your soul knows what time it is. The countdown is not punishment, it's preparation. God is not rushing you out of fear, He's inviting you into focus. There is something heaven wants to birth through you before the clock strikes midnight. You've been carrying this seed of purpose for too long, and now it's time for delivery. Every moment that passes is another contraction in the spirit, pushing destiny closer to manifestation. This is why old habits feel heavy, why old conversations drain you, why the old version of you no longer fits. You are shedding time-worn layers, stepping into alignment with the eternal. Heaven is not measuring your perfection, it's measuring your posture. Will you be ready when the trumpet sounds again? Will you be found watching or wondering? The countdown is not about seconds, it's about surrender. Every heartbeat is a question, and your obedience is the answer. What you do in this final minute determines the rhythm of your next season. Heaven isn't watching your pace, it's watching your position. Stay kneeling, stay listening, stay ready. Remember, time in heaven doesn't move like time on earth. God's clock doesn't tick, it trembles. Every choice made in alignment with His will sends shockwaves through eternity. You've been entrusted with one of those choices now. The final minute is not a threat, it's a threshold. Think about how far you've come. The battles you've survived weren't random, they were rehearsals for this very moment. You've been learning to discern the difference between divine delay and demonic distraction. Now that discernment will guide you. Don't look back. Don't second guess. Just move when He speaks. You may not see the finish line yet, but it's closer than you think. The light ahead isn't the end, it's the beginning of something new, something holy, something unstoppable. Every chosen one must walk through the pressure of 11:59 before stepping into dawn. It's the refining moment between faith spoken and faith proven. Right now, heaven is measuring response, not applause, not emotion, but response. You don't have to be loud, you just have to be willing. The divine countdown doesn't demand perfection, it demands presence. You can't control the clock, but you can control your yes, and that yes carries eternal weight. Beloved, this is not coincidence. The fact that you're reading these words at this moment means heaven is aligning you. You are in sync with divine timing. The sand in the hourglass is falling, but not in fear, it's falling in favor. Each grain is a whisper. Move now. As the seconds slip, lift your heart instead of your worry. Heaven doesn't panic, it prepares. You are part of that preparation. When the last grain of light falls, those who were ready will rise. Be among them. The minute that others ignore is the moment that marks the chosen. If your spirit bears witness to this word, mark it now. Heaven records faith through action. Let your comment below be a sign of agreement with the countdown heaven has started. Comment 9,999 below your prophetic declaration that you are awake, aligned, and aware of heaven's timing. When you type it, let it be more than numbers. It's your response to eternity. It's your way of saying, Lord, I will not miss my moment. The countdown has begun, and you, chosen one, are ready. The night has grown still again. But not quiet. Beneath the silence, there's movement, a soft hum in the spiritual realm. You can feel it like a pulse, subtle but persistent, echoing through the corridors of your heart. This is the season of the last temptation, the moment when everything that once chained you makes its final plea to be noticed, to be chosen, to be remembered. Beloved chosen one, temptation always returns before transformation. Just when you are closest to break through, the old familiar voices rise again, whispering comfort, nostalgia, and compromise. The enemy cannot create new traps, so he resurrects old ones. He brings back what used to work people, memories, desire, fears, and he dresses them in disguise, hoping you'll mistake them for peace. But this is not peace, it's distraction. And you, chosen for divine purpose, are being tested, not in your weakness, but in your strength. For the enemy no longer fights you through ignorance, he now fights you through strategy. He knows your capacity. He has seen your obedience. That's why the final temptation comes not to your flesh, but to your faith. You've endured so much. You've walked through storms, separation, and silence. You've carried the weight of calling without applause. But now, as the moment of release approaches, the enemy whispers one last offer. Settle. Stop. Stay comfortable. He offers safety that suffocates purpose. He offers ease that empties anointing. He offers shortcuts that steal destiny. Understand, this temptation doesn't always come in the form of sin. Sometimes it comes disguised as stability. The greatest test of the chosen is not to choose between good and evil, but between good and God, between what feels right and what is right, between what's familiar and what's faithful. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. End of chapter. That is your weapon in this hour, not willpower, but word, not human strength. But divine remembrance. The enemy can't defeat what's written, and when you speak what's written, you remind both heaven and hell who you belong to. You are not a victim of temptation, you are a vessel of truth. The last temptation often comes wrapped in beauty. It looks harmless, it feels safe, and it appeals to your emotions. It whispers, you deserve this. But what it truly means is, you deserve distraction. Yet, your spirit knows better. It trembles not with fear, but with discernment. The closer you get to your divine assignment, the louder the counterfeit calls. You may feel weary. You may feel stretched thin. But remember, weariness is not weakness. It's proof of war. It's the ache of someone who refuses to surrender. Heaven sees your fight, even in your silence. The tears you cry in private are not wasted. They are washing away the residue of every false thing that tried to cling to you. This is the hour when your decisions echo louder than your words. Every no you speak to temptation becomes a yes to destiny. Every moment you resist becomes a declaration that you belong fully to God. The heavens take note. The darkness loses ground. And even now, though the battle is fierce, peace is near. You may not feel it yet, but on the other side of this temptation lies tremendous clarity. When the enemy realizes he can no longer move you, he will flee, not because you shouted him away, but because your silence proved your strength. Beloved, hold your ground. Don't negotiate with what God already told you to leave. Don't revisit what heaven already closed. You've come too far to fall back into patterns that no longer fit the new version of you. What once satisfied your flesh now starves your spirit for a reason. You are being purified by choice, not by force. This final test isn't punishment, it's prophecy. It confirms that you are ready. Heaven never allows temptation to meet a heart that isn't prepared to win. The very presence of this test means you're standing at the edge of a threshold. On the other side lies power, clarity, and freedom that cannot be undone. So, stand firm. The old voices will fade soon. The false comfort will dissolve, and you will emerge not wounded, but wiser. The last temptation is never the loudest, it's simply the last. And after this, chosen one, you'll step into strength that even darkness will fear to touch. You can feel it in the atmosphere, the trembling beneath your feet, the sense that everything stable is beginning to shake. It's not just in the world around you, it's in the unseen world within you. The shaking has begun. Heaven has loosed its hand over the earth. And now, everything that is not rooted in truth is starting to crumble. Beloved chosen one, don't be afraid of the shaking. It's not destruction, it's distinction. God is not trying to break you. He's breaking what cannot hold you. The shaking comes to separate the eternal from the temporary, the pure from the polluted, the real from the false. Everything that once pretended to stand tall is now being tested by truth. You felt this shaking already in relationships, in opportunities, even in your own thoughts. Things that once felt solid now feel uncertain. Plans you trusted have dissolved overnight. It may look like loss, but it's actually liberation. The shaking is heaven's mercy in motion. God loves you too much to let you build your destiny on sand. We often pray for new beginnings, but few of us realize that new beginnings require old endings. The shaking is not punishment, it's the sound of heaven rearranging your foundation. Every false identity, every misplaced trust, every comfort that kept you small, it all trembles now under the weight of divine truth. You are being rebuilt from the ground up, not as who you were, but as who you were always meant to be. The voice of God thundered in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 27. The words once more indicate the removing of what can be shaken, that is, created things, so that what cannot be shaken may remain. That verse is a mirror for this moment. What can be shaken will be shaken. What is divine will stand. You are discovering now which parts of your life carry eternity's fingerprint and which were just temporary attachments. The shaking reveals what was real all along. Do not despise it. The shaking may rattle your comfort, but it will not destroy your calling. What you're feeling is the removal of the unnecessary humus. Heaven is simplifying your structure so your foundation can hold greater weight. For the next wave of glory, the structure must match the magnitude. You cannot carry future blessings on faulty ground. Think of the shaking as a refining fire that moves through your life. Not to burn you, but to reveal the gold beneath the dust. Every disappointment, every sudden ending, every unexpected change, they are tools in the hands of a precise builder. God is not random. He is removing what no longer belongs, so that nothing counterfeit can claim space in your story. The world will panic during shaking seasons. They will cling to what's falling instead of reaching for what's firm. But you, chosen one, have been prepared for this moment. You are not meant to hold on to crumbling walls. You are called to walk across the rubble into promise. The shaking isn't your downfall, it's your doorway. Remember this truth. Nothing God wants for you can be lost in the shaking. What falls away was never meant to last. What remains will carry glory. You will soon see why certain things ended abruptly, why certain people distanced themselves, why certain paths closed. The shaking reveals what was built on self instead of spirit. And while the earth trembles, heaven stands still. The throne is not moved. The promise is not cancelled. The plan is not altered. The storm may roar, but the foundation of your faith, anchored in the rock, remains unbreakable. You may feel small in this shaking, but you are not powerless. When you choose to trust instead of fear, you align yourself with the immovable. When you worship instead of worry, you plant your soul on solid ground. The ground beneath your feet may tremble, but the presence within you will not. This season will strip away what you never needed and strengthen what you always had. The true ones, those grounded in love, truth, and faith will rise from the dust like unshakable pillars, and you will be among them. The shaking is heaven's way of saying, I'm preparing you for permanence. Lo, do not look back at what's falling apart. Let it fall. Let God build something better in its place. The shaking may be loud, but the peace that follows it will be louder still. When the dust settles, what remains will shine, not because it survived the shaking, but because it was forged by it. So stand still. Chosen one, feel the trembling, but do not fear it. You are standing in a divine construction zone, and the master builder is at work. Everything unstable must go, but you will remain. When the shaking ends, the only thing left standing will be truth, and you, anchored in that truth, will rise as proof that nothing rooted in heaven can ever be shaken by earth. The air feels different now, calmer, heavier, sacred. The shaking has passed, but what remains is pure. You stand amidst the stillness, no longer defined by what fell away, but by what endured. This is the hour of obedience, not the loud kind, not the kind others can see or praise, but the quiet, steadfast obedience that defines the truly chosen, beloved chosen one. Heaven is marking those who walk in obedience when no one is watching. This is not about religion or ritual, it's about alignment. When God marks a person, it is not with ink or crown, but with evidence. The mark of obedience cannot be faked, and it cannot be hidden. It glows in your decisions. It echoes in your peace, and it radiates from your restraint. This is the mark the enemy fears. Not your talent, not your title, not your following, but your obedience. Because obedience cannot be manipulated. It terrifies darkness because it proves you have chosen submission over self. You are no longer controlled by impulse, but by instruction. That is power. The mark of obedience is the seal of ownership. It says to heaven, this one belongs to me, and to hell, this one cannot be touched. You are marked not because of perfection, but because of surrender. Every time you obey despite confusion, you stamp your soul with divine authority. The unseen world takes note. The Word of God declares in the book of John, chapter 14, verse 15, "If you love me, keep my commandments." That's the essence of obedience, not fear, but love. You obey not because you're afraid of punishment, but because you are bound by affection. True obedience flows from devotion, not duty. It's the echo of relationship, not religion. You follow not because you must, but because you can't imagine walking any other way. In this season, heaven is branding its faithful ones, not with outward signs, but with inward conviction. Your obedience becomes your protection. While others chase opportunity, you are called to chase alignment. There is a holy difference between movement and momentum. Movement can come from chaos. Momentum comes from obedience. You are being called to move differently now. Your words must carry weight. Your choices must mirror heaven, and your actions must reveal truth. You will no longer fit into environments built on compromise, and that is by design. The mark on you will make you magnetic to destiny and resistant to deception. Understand this: every act of obedience is an act of warfare. When you follow divine instruction, you dismantle unseen plans of darkness. You frustrate the enemy's calculations. You walk into rooms he thought he controlled, carrying light that exposes every hidden scheme. You may never see the battles you've won through obedience, but heaven records them all. And as you walk this narrow road, your obedience will become contagious. Others will watch your peace, your consistency, your quiet strength, and something in them will stir. They will see that what you carry is not human. It's heaven alive within you. You won't even have to preach. Your obedience will do the talking. The mark you carry will set you apart. Some will misunderstand it. Some will envy it. Some will be drawn to it without knowing why. But those who carry darkness will always be unsettled in your presence. That's because your obedience releases an aroma of truth that exposes every false thing. Don't hide that light to make others comfortable. You were not marked for mediocrity. You were marked for mastery under God's hand. And though obedience sometimes feels like loss, it always leads to life. What you sacrifice in surrender, you gain in strength. Every yes becomes a seed planted in eternal soil. And when it blooms, its fruit cannot wither. You will see it soon how your small acts of faithfulness have built something unshakable in heaven's sight. Beloved, your obedience is the proof of your identity. You are not defined by your past mistakes, but by your present submission. Heaven calls you not perfect, but faithful, and that's all God ever needed. The mark of obedience shines brighter than any title, louder than any sermon, deeper than any performance. So walk boldly, even if no one claps. You are walking under divine authority. Every step you take in obedience draws heaven closer to earth. And soon, what was hidden will be revealed. The favor that follows obedience will speak for itself. If this word resonates in your spirit, let heaven record your response. Let your comment be your seal, your echo in eternity. Comment, I obey. Because when you type it, you're not just agreeing with words, you're aligning with the will of heaven. You're declaring that obedience is your language, your legacy, your mark. The mark of obedience glows on you now. Chosen one. Walk in it. Live in it. Let it lead you where only the faithful can go. The air feels lighter now, but it carries the scent of change. The night that once pressed heavily against your chest has started to lift. You can feel it. A reversal is in motion. What was once closed begins to creak open. What was taken begins to return. What was broken begins to heal. The reversal hour has come. Beloved chosen one, heaven never forgets what was sown in faith. The tears, the silent prayers, the seasons of unseen obedience, they were not wasted. The God who counts your steps also counts your sorrows. Every drop you shed was a seed. And this is the season when seeds turn into gardens. The world has taught you that loss is permanent, but heaven sees loss differently. Heaven calls loss investment. The things you thought were gone were actually planted, buried beneath the soil of time, waiting for divine rain. And now, at the appointed hour, the clouds are gathering. Restoration is on the wind. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Joel. Chapter 2, verse 25. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. That promise was not a metaphor, it was a map. God never subtracts without the intention to multiply later. What you thought was the end of your story was only a comma in heaven's sentence. The reversal has begun quietly, not with lightning or trumpets, but with subtle shifts, unexpected favor, renewed strength, returning peace. Picture it like this. Your life has been a tapestry woven on both sides. On the underside, all you could see were knots, tangles, and loose threads. But now, God is turning it around, revealing the pattern on the front, the masterpiece that pain was secretly crafting. Every heartbreak was a stitch of gold. Every disappointment, a new layer of depth. The pattern only makes sense when the fabric is turned. That's what's happening now, the turning. Sometimes, the reversal doesn't come in the form of things you lost, returning exactly as they were. Sometimes, it comes as transformation. The job you lost makes room for a calling. The friend who left makes space for divine connection. The storm that broke you becomes the story that builds others. God rarely returns what you had. He gives you what you truly needed. You are walking into divine compensation. The scales are being balanced, not by chance, but by justice. What the enemy stole through confusion, heaven restores through clarity. What was delayed is now being delivered. And you, the faithful one who stood through the shaking, are about to witness the great exchange, ashes for beauty, mourning for dancing, despair for joy. But listen carefully, restoration is not passive. The reversal responds to recognition. When you acknowledge what God is doing, you align yourself with the current of heaven. And one of the most powerful ways to align is through gratitude and partnership. Gratitude turns memory into worship. Partnership turns faith into movement. When you like this message, it's not about numbers, it's about resonance. It's you saying, I feel heaven moving. When you share it, you become a messenger, a carrier of hope to someone standing in their own valley of loss. When you subscribe, you're not just following, you're connecting to a continual flow of divine encouragement. And if your spirit feels stirred to donate, do it, not as an obligation but as an offering. Your giving is not lost, it's sown. It's the oil poured over the altar of restoration. Every gift fuels the spreading of light, the sounding of the trumpet, the reaching of souls who still believe their story has ended. Imagine your seed as a candle placed in another's darkness. That's how the reversal spreads from one flame to another, until the night is filled with light. Think of it this way: rivers don't drink their own water, trees don't eat their own fruit, and candles don't see their own light. You were created to overflow. When you support what uplifts others, heaven multiplies your overflow. The reversal you've prayed for becomes not only personal, but generational. Beloved, this moment is holy. Heaven is rebuilding the ruins of your story. But this time the foundation will be unbreakable. The years that pain tried to erase are being rewritten with redemption ink. You are not returning to what you lost. You are rising into what was promised. The reversal hour isn't loud, it's steady. It doesn't arrive with chaos, it unfolds with clarity. You will look around and realize that what once felt impossible has quietly become inevitable. You'll see doors open where walls once stood. You'll feel peace where panic once lived. You'll carry joy that doesn't need explanation. And as this reversal continues to unfold, keep your heart open. Keep your eyes soft. Keep your hands generous. You are part of something far greater than recovery. You are a living witness of resurrection. The story that was once buried has come back to life. And you, chosen one, are proof that heaven always keeps its word. So breathe deeply. The tide has turned. The dawn is approaching. The reversal hour is here, and it carries your name in its wind. You stand now in a place that feels almost sacred, a quiet between storms, a silence filled with meaning. The reversal has done its work. What was taken is being returned. What was empty is filling again. Yet in this stillness, something ancient begins to stir. The hidden scroll is being unsealed. Beloved chosen one, every soul carries a scroll, a divine script written before time began. Inside it are the details. Heaven spoke over your life, your purpose, your battles, your victories, and the reasons you were chosen. Most people live without ever glimpsing it, distracted by the noise of the world. But you, marked and refined through fire, are being granted a glimpse of your scroll. Heaven is revealing why you were preserved. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah. Chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Andri, this verse isn't just about Jeremiah. It's a window into your own design. Before your body existed, your purpose already breathed. You were woven with intention. Your calling wasn't decided by circumstances, but inscribed by eternity. You have been walking through pages written before time itself. The hidden scroll doesn't reveal itself to the distracted. It opens only to those who have endured the silence and embraced the separation. You've passed through both. That's why you can hear what others cannot, why you sense what others overlook. You're reading what heaven is revealing. What's written inside your scroll may not be easy. The chosen never carry casual assignments. The ink of destiny is mixed with oil and tears. But that mixture is holy. It means your story will carry weight. Every line of your life has been designed to display God's glory, not your comfort. That's why He protected you. Even when you thought He was distant, there were traps that never reached you, storms that should have swallowed you, and people who tried to derail you. Yet you stand. You survived, not by chance, but by calling. The scroll of your life carried divine protection clauses written in unseen ink. This one will not fall before time. This one will not die before destiny. This one will speak when the appointed season arrives. And that season is now. The hidden scroll doesn't just tell you what to do, it reminds you who you are. You've been living under labels: hurt, misunderstood, forgotten, but heaven calls you by a name that can't be erased. You are a vessel of prophecy, a walking testimony of redemption, a voice prepared to awaken others. When you begin to live from your scroll, you stop chasing validation. You no longer beg for clarity. Because direction flows naturally from identity, you no longer fear time. Because you realize destiny doesn't expire. Heaven's writing is permanent. No failure, no enemy, no delay can erase what God has authored. Think of the scroll as a lamp unfurling in your hands, its light illuminating paths you once feared to walk. What once felt confusing now feels inevitable. The same moments that once broke you now serve as markers of divine orchestration. The scroll reveals that even pain had purpose, that even silence spoke, and though others may not understand it, that's all right. The scroll was never written for crowds. It was written for covenant. What's revealed to you is not meant to impress people but to impact them. You are called to live as revelation. Your obedience will become the proof of what the scroll contains. You may wonder, why now? Why after all this time? Because you're finally ready to read without rewriting. You no longer demand that the story fit your comfort. You've learned to trust the author. Heaven reveals secrets only to surrendered hearts. And yours has been softened through struggle. So listen closely. The hidden scroll speaks through dreams, through gentle whispers, through divine interruptions that pull you away from ordinary patterns. Pay attention to these moments. They are footnotes from eternity, reminders of who you've always been. You have reached the part of your story where purpose no longer hides. The scroll has turned to the page marked Manifestation. You may not understand every line, but you'll feel the truth of it burning inside you. This is not the end, it's the unveiling. The story heaven wrote before the world began is finally catching up with time, and you, chosen one, are walking it out word by word. The scroll has been opened, and now its words echo in the chambers of your soul. But as heaven reveals what was hidden, a final invitation is extended, the final offer of mercy. It's gentle, yet weighty. It carries both tenderness and urgency. The hand of God stretches forth, not in wrath, but in rescue. Beloved, chosen one. Mercy is not weakness, it's power restrained by love. It's heaven saying, I still want you, even after every mistake, every detour, every rebellion. You've seen judgment in the world, but now you are encountering mercy, the kind that bends low to lift what has fallen. This is not a coincidence. This is a visitation. Heaven has interrupted your timeline with one last chance to realign. The world doesn't speak about mercy anymore. It glorifies pride, celebrates revenge, and mocks repentance. But you, marked by grace, can feel that this message is different. Mercy is still calling your name. It hasn't expired. It hasn't turned cold. It's waiting patient, but not permanent. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 15, verse 20, but while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him and kissed him. That is the heart of mercy running toward you, even while you're still far away. You may feel unworthy, but heaven doesn't ask for perfection, only proximity. Mercy meets you halfway. The Father doesn't wait for you to clean yourself up. He runs while you're still covered in the dust of your mistakes. Right now, heaven is running toward you. The same God who spoke galaxies into existence is whispering your name. He's saying, come home. The same mercy that caught David after failure, that lifted Peter after denial, that redeemed Paul after persecution, is now reaching for you. You may think it's too late, that you've missed too many chances. But mercy specializes in the impossible. You can't out-sin mercy. You can't outrun grace. You can only refuse it. And heaven is pleading, don't. You've felt conviction lately, like a soft weight pressing on your heart. A quiet sorrow that won't go away. That's not condemnation. That's mercy knocking. It's heaven saying, you still have time, but don't waste it. Every heartbeat is an invitation. Every sunrise is a second chance. But every day also carries a warning time, doesn't pause. The mercy of God doesn't erase consequences, it redeems them. What you lost in rebellion, He can rebuild through repentance. What you broke in pride, He can heal in surrender. But you must move now, not with fear, but with faith. The same arms that created worlds are waiting to embrace you. The final offer of mercy isn't about religion, it's about relationship. Heaven is not asking you to perform, to pretend, or to prove yourself. It's asking you to return. Mercy doesn't require explanation, it only requires response. You may wonder, why is God still patient with me? Because He still sees the version of you that He designed before pain distorted your reflection. He still remembers your true sound, your true light, your true name. He hasn't given up. But this moment, this exact moment is sacred. Heaven's offer stands before you one last time. Mercy is standing in front of the courtroom of your soul, holding out a pardon signed in blood. You can take it, or you can walk away, but you cannot ignore it. The greatest tragedy is not rejection, it's indifference. The door is open now, but it will not stay open forever. Beloved, this isn't meant to frighten you, it's meant to free you. Mercy is not a chain, it's a key. The same door that once held you captive now opens toward purpose. The moment you accept it, shame loses its grip. Guilt loses its echo. You step out of darkness into light so radiant that even your past cannot dim it. So let this be the moment you choose mercy over memory. Let this be the night heaven records as your turning point. You've run long enough. Stop running. Let mercy catch you. And if you feel your heart racing as you read these words, that's not emotion, it's recognition. Heaven is speaking directly to your spirit. Don't hesitate this time. Respond with faith. Comment 5,555 below your prophetic sign of saying, I choose mercy. I accept grace. I return. Lanen, each number you type becomes a declaration that the story isn't over. It's not just a number, it's a covenant between your heart and heaven. Mercy still stands at your door, waiting. The offer is open, but not forever. This is your moment. Chosen one. Step through while there's still light in the doorway. The wind has shifted. You can feel it in the air, an awakening moving across the unseen landscape of the world. It starts softly, like a breeze stirring dry leaves. But soon it grows into a force that can't be ignored. The rise of the remnant has begun. Below the chosen one, you are not alone. There are others scattered, quiet, hidden, but marked like you. They have walked through silence, endured shaking, survived temptation, and bowed under the weight of the call. They are the ones heaven calls the remnant, the few who refused to bow when others broke. The remnant doesn't look like what the world expects. They aren't polished or perfect. They carry scars as proof of survival, and fire in their eyes as proof of faith. They come from every nation, every background, every generation. Some are young and fierce, others old and wise. They may never meet face to face, yet they move to the same rhythm, the heartbeat of heaven. The remnant rises quietly. They don't seek platforms, they build altars. They don't chase fame, they chase presence. They are not driven by applause, but by assignment. And though the world overlooks them, heaven amplifies them. Their prayers shift nations. Their obedience moves mountains. Their faith births revival. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Micah, chapter 5, verse 7, "The remnant of Jacob will be in the midst of many peoples like dew from the Lord, like showers on the grass, which do not wait for anyone or depend on man." That verse paints the remnant as dew, quiet yet powerful. Dew doesn't arrive with thunder, it appears in stillness. It refreshes what the sun has scorched, bringing life where dryness reigned. That is your calling now, to bring divine renewal to weary hearts. Your presence carries restoration. Your voice carries rain. The rise of the remnant isn't about visibility, it's about vitality. Heaven is breathing life back into those who were counted out, restoring those the world forgot. Prophets are awakening in places of pain. Worshippers are emerging from wilderness seasons. Intercessors are being stirred in the dead of night. This is not religion being reborn, it's relationship being revived. The remnant doesn't ask permission to move. They follow divine timing, not public approval. They walk in boldness that confuses darkness. When they speak, their words cut through pretense and expose truth. When they pray, the ground trembles. And when they worship, the unseen realms bow in recognition of heaven's authority flowing through them. You've likely felt this rising in your own life, a deeper hunger for purity, a stronger longing for truth, a restlessness that no earthly thing can satisfy. That's the sign of activation. You're not losing interest in the world, you're gaining appetite for eternity. The remnant lives with one obsession: to see God's will done on earth as it is in heaven. In this movement, titles mean nothing. Brokenness becomes the new qualification. Those who were disqualified by men are being anointed by God. Those who were silenced are being given new songs. The rejected ones, the outcasts, the misunderstood, they are being raised as warriors of light. The remnant is heaven's rebellion against darkness. And though the world grows darker, the remnant burns brighter. They are the living fulfillment of the promise that light will always overcome shadow. You've seen the evidence of this already: small fires igniting in places forgotten by power. Voices rising from wildernesses that religion abandoned. These are not random sparks, they are coordinated flames. The army is forming. The rise of the remnant does not come with noise, but with necessity. The world has reached its breaking point. Systems have failed. Hearts have hardened. Truth has been traded for convenience. But even now, heaven is not panicking, it's preparing. The remnant are heaven's response to chaos. You, chosen one, have a place among them. You are not called to stand above others, but beside them. Together, you will move like waves, distinct yet united, carrying the sound of revival to places where silence reigned for too long. Your obedience adds to the symphony, your light contributes to the flame. Don't underestimate what's happening in secret. The remnant rarely announces their rise. They simply obey. and heaven makes the announcement through signs, wonders, and undeniable transformation. Revival will not come through platforms, but through purity, through ordinary people carrying extraordinary power. This is your hour of recognition. The trials you've endured were never random. They were training. You've been equipped not for comfort, but for confrontation with lies, with fear, with despair. You were chosen to carry light into systems that have forgotten love, to bring healing where cynicism has taken root, to embody faith in a world that worships doubt. And though the remnant walks through darkness, they do not stumble. Their steps are guided. Their hearts are guarded. Their mission is unstoppable. You are part of that movement now. The rise of the remnant is not coming, it's already here. And you, chosen one, are standing in the middle of it. The air grows tense again, not with fear, but with finality. Something unseen is shifting across the landscape of souls. You can sense it. Deep in your spirit, a separation, a drawing of invisible lines. The great divide has begun. Beloved, chosen one. This is the moment when truth stands alone, when every heart reveals what it truly serves. It's no longer about appearances or intentions, it's about alignment. Heaven is dividing not to destroy, but to define. The light and the dark can no longer share the same space. The era of blending has ended. This divide isn't about human conflict, it's about spiritual positioning. The Spirit is separating the surrendered from the stubborn, the faithful from the familiar, the genuine from the generic. What once could hide in ambiguity is now being exposed under heaven's light. This is not punishment, it's purification. The great divide always comes before the great display of glory, as the prophet Elijah once declared in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 38. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt offering, the wood, the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. That fire still falls today. It comes not to destroy indiscriminately, but to distinguish between sacrifice and show. The fire proves authenticity. It burns away what was done for attention and refines what was done in devotion. The great divide is heaven's fire separating what glitters from what's truly gold. This divide will not be comfortable. It may feel lonely. You may grieve what you lose, but what you gain will be holy. The ones who mocked your faith will grow silent. The systems that once seemed unshakable will crumble. The world's false peace will shatter to reveal the war that was always there. But those who stand in truth will remain unbroken. The line that heaven draws isn't physical, it's spiritual. It runs through every heart, every decision, every motive. It asks one question: whom will you serve? And though it sounds simple, the answer requires everything. The days of half-hearted allegiance are over. You can no longer live halfway between obedience and convenience. This great divide exposes the difference between believers and disciples, between those who speak of faith and those who live it. The believers know the stories. The disciples carry the scars. The believers attend, but the disciples ascend. You are called to the latter. You are called not to observe the fire, but to endure it. You will notice, as the divide widens, that peace will no longer be found in comfort zones. It will be found in conviction. You will feel more at home among the faithful few than among the familiar many. The world may label you extreme, but heaven calls you steadfast. you will stand, even if standing makes you stand alone. And yet, there is beauty in this separation, for when the false fades, the pure can finally breathe. When the counterfeit collapses, the genuine rises without resistance. The great divide is not God's anger, it's His mercy. It's His way of protecting the remnant from being diluted. His way of creating clear boundaries where compromise once thrived. You will see this divide, not just in people, but in systems. Truth will begin to challenge institutions built on deceit. Light will infiltrate industries that thrive in shadow. Justice will awaken where corruption has long sat on the throne. The shaking from before has now revealed its purpose, to make way for this moment of distinction. When Moses stood on Mount Sinai, the people trembled below, unsure which side to stand on. When Elijah called down fire, the nation had to choose between the living God and lifeless idols. Every generation faces its own dividing moment. This is ours, and heaven is watching not with wrath, but with expectation. Soon, clarity will come. The fog will lift, and every heart will be seen for what it truly is. Some will walk into light, others will retreat into shadow, but the chosen ones, the ones like you, will walk boldly across the line, carrying the flame that does not burn out. So, stand your ground. Beloved, the great divide is not the end, it is the beginning of purity, of power, of purpose. When the line is drawn and the fire falls, may you be found on the side of light, still standing, still burning, still unshaken. The line has been drawn, and the world stands divided. But for you, chosen one, something begins to shift within. Heaven's silence turns into song. The waiting gives way to wonder. The air itself seems to hum with purpose. You can feel it in your bones. You are being armed. This is the hour of the crown and the sword. You fought through confusion and fire, through loneliness and loss, and heaven has seen it all. Every unseen battle, every prayer whispered through tears, every moment you chose to stay faithful, it has all led here. The anointing that was promised is descending now. The same hands that shaped stars are placing a crown upon your head, and in those same hands rests a sword gleaming, divine, alive with light. This is not the crown of comfort, it's the crown of conquest. It's not the sword of violence, but of victory. Together, they symbolize the dual nature of the chosen authority and accountability, power and purity. You were never called merely to survive. You were called to reign. But to reign in heaven's kingdom is not to rule over others. It's to rule over yourself, your emotions, your fears, your past. We find in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 11, hold fast what you have, that no one may take your crown. And now, the sword. It's not metal, but message, the word of God alive within you. It cuts through deception, through fear, through every lie the enemy whispered in the dark. When you speak truth, you wield it. When you stand firm in love, you swing it. When you refuse to bow to compromise, you pierce the enemy's schemes. The sword you carry is not just for defense, it's for deliverance. Beloved, this moment is holy. Heaven has crowned you not for display, but for duty. You are not wearing that light for attention. You're wearing it as identification. You are heaven's representative in the realms of earth, a living reminder that darkness cannot rule forever. But understand this, crowns can be heavy. The weight of responsibility comes with the beauty of reward. You may feel unqualified to wear it, yet heaven insists you are ready. Every wound you've endured has become part of your armor. Every scar has turned into strategy. Every heartbreak has been redeemed into holy strength. And the sword, oh, the sword, it doesn't glow until you use it. So, use it well. Speak light where darkness lingers. Declare peace where chaos thrives. Remind despair that it's temporary. You are not a bystander in this story. You are a warrior wrapped in grace. If these words are stirring something deep in your spirit, that's because they were written for this very moment. When you like this message, it's not just digital interaction, it's agreement. It's you saying, I receive my crown. I lift my sword. When you share it, you're passing your flame forward, lighting another torch in the long line of the chosen. When you subscribe, it's more than a click, it's a connection, a tether between hearts that burn for the same purpose. You're saying, I want to keep hearing heaven's language, and if you donate, do it not as charity, but as covenant. You're not funding a message, you're fueling a mission. Every seed you plant becomes another sword sharpened, another crown raised, another weary heart awakened. Think of it like tending a great vineyard. You may not see the fruit immediately, but your contribution waters the soil. It ensures that when harvest time comes, there will be abundance not only for you, but for countless others. Your generosity keeps the oil flowing, the message echoing, and the fire burning in places where it might otherwise fade. Beloved, this is not about money, it's about meaning. It's about partnership in something eternal. Heaven's crowns are not worn by spectators, they're entrusted to builders, believers, and bringers of hope. You are one of them. Your heart for this message proves that you carry the same flame that fuels heaven's movement on earth. So as you stand here, crowned and armed, understand what's at stake. You are not fighting for victory, you are fighting from victory. The battle has already been won, but the chosen must still rise to claim what's theirs. The world may see chaos, but heaven sees coronation. The trumpet hasn't sounded its final note, but its melody of triumph is already playing inside you. Hold your head high. Grip your sword firmly. Walk with the authority of one who knows they've been chosen. You carry heaven's insignia on your forehead and his fire in your hands. And when you move, darkness trembles, not because of who you are, but because of whose you are. When the last note of the trumpet fades, silence settles once again. But this silence is different, heavier, fuller, eternal. It's not the silence of waiting, but of witnessing. Something final has shifted. The clock that once ticked toward midnight has stopped. The cutoff has come and gone. This is the aftermath of midnight. Beloved, chosen one, the world you knew is not the same. The hour that passed marked more than a moment. It marked a separation in history, a change in spiritual gravity. Heaven's decree has been spoken. The faithful have stood firm, and the faint-hearted have fallen away. It's as though creation itself exhaled, releasing everything that was held in suspense. You can feel it. The air is cleaner, the noise quieter, the unseen clearer. Mercy has transitioned into manifestation. What was once faith is now fact. The prayers whispered through trembling lips have turned into tangible reality. And you, who have endured every test, Stand not merely as a survivor, but as a witness. The ancient words recorded in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 13, declare, "But the one who endures to the end will be saved." Those words have never felt truer than they do now. Endurance has become the currency of the chosen. You endured. You didn't give up when others mocked your faith. You didn't bow when convenience called louder than conviction. You didn't abandon truth when lies were easier to love. And because of that, heaven remembers you. The aftermath of midnight is not filled with noise or chaos, it's filled with clarity. The light that dawns after midnight is unlike any light you've ever seen. It doesn't simply illuminate the world, it reveals the soul. You will look around and notice that not everything made it through the night. Some dreams, some friendships, some illusions, they dissolved when the clock struck 12. But what remains is holy. What remains is pure. There is a strange peace here. A quiet so deep, it feels alive. You sense that you've crossed a threshold that cannot be uncrossed. The world looks the same, yet it's not. Heaven's order has shifted. Angels have taken their new positions. Assignments have changed hands. The old season has closed like a book, and a new one has begun, written not in ink, but in fire. You might feel a sense of awe mingled with loss. That's natural. The passing of an age always leaves echoes. You may think of those who hesitated, those who ignored the warning, those who stood on the edge but never crossed. Let their absence not harden your heart, but soften it with compassion, for judgment belongs to heaven alone. But mercy remains the language of the chosen. In this new dawn, obedience will look different. It will no longer be about survival, it will be about stewardship. You are now entrusted with what others forfeited. You carry the prayers of the faithful generations who longed for this moment but never saw it. You are their continuation. Their hope lives on through you. Take a moment to notice how the spiritual air feels lighter. The oppressive weight that once shadowed your heart is gone. The world is quieter, not because it has ended, but because it has been renewed. The unseen battle that raged in the night has been won, not through might, but through endurance. The aftermath of midnight is not the end of time, it's the beginning of truth. What was hidden has been revealed. The counterfeit has been stripped away. The earth stands exposed before heaven's gaze, waiting for what comes next. And though others may tremble, you stand unshaken, for you carry the assurance of one who made it through the darkness. You are no longer waiting for confirmation, you are the confirmation. You are the living testimony that obedience still triumphs, that light still wins, that love still reigns. Heaven calls your endurance beautiful, your faith remarkable, your perseverance eternal. And yet, even in victory, humility fills the air. The chosen know that survival is not self-earned, it is grace-sustained. You are here because heaven held you, because mercy covered you, because purpose refused to let you fall. So now, in this aftermath of midnight, breathe deeply. The storm has passed, the shadows have fled, and the dawn glows on the horizon. Everything that remains carries eternal weight. The pages ahead will not repeat the chaos of the past. They will reveal the order of heaven. You have stepped beyond fear, beyond waiting, beyond wondering. You now walk in divine reality. The world after midnight belongs to those who believed. And you? chosen one. Stand among them, clothed in peace, crowned with endurance, surrounded by light. The horizon glows softly now, streaked with gold and rose, the kind of light that arrives quietly yet fills everything it touches. The darkness has retreated, not in defeat, but in revelation. It served its purpose. It proved what was hidden and strengthened what was pure. And now, out of its ashes rises a new day. This is the eternal dawn. Beloved chosen one, you stand on ground that has never seen this kind of light before. It doesn't burn, it heals. It doesn't blind, it reveals. It is not morning as the world knows it, but the dawning of eternity breaking through time. Heaven's first rays touch the earth, and what was once unseen becomes clear. The remnants of night glimmer like old shadows fading into memory. You have made it through the storm, through the shaking, through the silence, through the fire. You have crossed the line others feared to approach. You have endured the refining, the waiting, and the weeping. And now, you are standing in promise fulfilled. This dawn is your inheritance. It was written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 1. Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. End of. These words were not poetry, they were prophecy. You were always meant to rise, not because the darkness was gone, but because the light within you could no longer be contained. The same glory that hovered over creation at the beginning now hovers over you. You have become a reflection of the dawn itself, proof that even after the longest night, light always wins. This eternal dawn is not just a sunrise, it's a shift in reality. The laws of limitation no longer apply here. Time bends to purpose. Grace flows without interruption. Peace is no longer fleeting, it's the atmosphere you breathe. You are walking in a new rhythm, one where every step echoes with meaning. Every breath carries worship. Every word births life. You'll notice that the air feels alive, as though creation itself recognizes your presence. Birds sing louder. Winds move softer. Light dances differently around you. That's not imagination, it's recognition. The earth knows the chosen ones have risen. The fabric of existence honors those who carry heaven's signature within them. In this dawn, you no longer strive for what you already are. You no longer chase validation, for you are now the evidence. The waiting season has ended. The birthing season has arrived. What you carry inside you is no longer seed, it's fruit. The words you speak now have creative power, for they flow from purified lips touched by fire and grace. You'll begin to notice divine order unfolding around you. What once was chaotic now aligns effortlessly. People are drawn to your peace without knowing why. Opportunities arise not from ambition, but from assignment. The same God who guided you through darkness is now orchestrating your steps through light. Every movement, every connection, every thought carries intention. Nothing is wasted. The eternal dawn also brings remembrance. You'll start to understand why every pain, every delay, every unanswered prayer was necessary. They were not meant to punish you, they were meant to prepare you. The nights that almost broke you were actually forging your strength. The silence that scared you was shaping your sensitivity to heaven's voice. Every storm you survived has become part of your song. You will sing differently now, not out of desperation, but out of revelation. The sound of the redeemed carries a tone that all creation recognizes. It's the sound of completion. The universe itself leans in when the chosen sing, because your melody restores harmony where chaos once ruled. But even in this dawn, humility will anchor you. For the light that crowns you is borrowed light. It belongs to the one who never stopped watching, never stopped guiding, never stopped loving. You are a vessel, a mirror, a reflection of his glory. The dawn doesn't originate from you, it shines through you. And that is what makes it eternal. Chosen one, you have journeyed through darkness, fire, silence, and glory. You have watched the clock strike 11:59 p.m. and stood steadfast through the cutoff into dawn. And now you stand here whole, awake, crowned, and ready. This message was never meant to entertain, it was meant to awaken. You are proof that destiny delayed is not destiny denied. As the light of the eternal dawn wraps around you, take a breath and remember, you didn't stumble here by chance. Heaven led you step by step. Every word that reached you was meant to build, strengthen, and remind you that you are part of a divine story still unfolding. And that story continues not just in heaven's pages, but through your life. If this message stirred something deep in your spirit, don't let it fade away. Let your response become part of the testimony. When you like this message, you're saying, I stand in the light. When you share it, you become a messenger, yourself, sending this same fire into someone else's night. When you subscribe, you're not simply following a channel, you're joining a community of those who walk in purpose. And if your heart feels led to donate, do so as worship, not as obligation. Your seed keeps the flame alive, helping this message reach souls still searching in the dark. Every act of support, no matter how small, is a ripple of light that spreads farther than sight. And as you close this chapter, let the declaration echo in your heart. The countdown ended, but your calling just began. Comment, I rise with the dawn, below your final act of agreement with heaven's story written through you. The light has come, and it bears your name.